budding bakers, how are you today? We are gonna toast again like we did last summer. Ooh, we're doing twisted pretzels today using my trusty titanium. So you will need a dough hook for this, or else you could actually use just very strong muscles and have the most amazing toned arms. So this morning, up my dippy doughs, we have got 625 grams of strong flour. We have got 350 mils of blood temperature water. So basically that water, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just like Goldilocks. And we have got a tablespoon of sugar, we have a teaspoon of salt, we have got one sachet of yeast, we have got 60 grams of salted butter, I've got egg wash and some salt to sort of get things moving. So before we start, we have a birthday Saoirse. Happy birthday Saoirse. Lane sent me in a request and said Saoirse's birthday today. Oh my God, and you watch me all the time. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. I have forgotten the age. I will recap and put it into my notes today, and I'll zap it up on Facebook and I'll wish you an amazing happy birthday. So to the side, I am just going to put in water first. Before we put in our water, I like to put in the salt. So I have 1 teaspoon of salt going into 350 mils of warm water. Give it a bit of a stir, stir, stir. Into the pot it goes. Followed by sprinkling of my caster sugar, which is 1 tablespoon of caster sugar. And again, I'm just going to give it a bit of a stir, 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 not scratch the bottom, try not to scratch the bottom. And a sachet of yeast, and in it goes. Now I'm just going to show this and zoom it up closer so Sophie can zoom in so that you can see all I've done. If you can have a look at that, Soph, thank you very much. Is just your yeast is resting on the water, and this is going to go slightly foamy. It will take about 5 minutes. So before we add our butter and our flour, I'm going to push our K-mix to the side. And sure lads, don't I have one prepared earlier? So, bowl with the most amazing dough. It has rose, it has risen. It has risen. It's gotten really big, lads. It's gotten really big. So, when you're making your dough, which I will show in a minute, while we're waiting for that yeast to do bubble, bubble, toilet trouble, I'm going to show you our beautiful dough. So out comes this gorgeous, soft dough. And look at it. Don't be afraid of bread, okay? I was supposed to say it's not going to eat you. You'll be eating the bread. So listen, this divine recipe with the pretzels has this gorgeous chewiness. The reason I have a pot behind me bubbling away nicely with about 2 litres of water and 120 grams of bread soda. Now it's important to put the bread soda into your water, give it a bit of a stir, because the bread soda is going to give that brown, shiny chewiness to your pretzels. You can leave it out, but if you leave it out, be it to your detriment, because you will not have the most divine pretzels. These are as easy as una, dos, tres. So, I'm going to take off a portion with my knife. I'll put one to the side, another one. You should get about like 8 decent pretzels, okay? So I'm just cutting them up into 4. Now you can be really specific and you can start to weigh them. Tiny bit of flour, tiny bit of frost, painting of magic in the air. Look how soft. This is fantastic to do with kids. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll. Roll, 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 roll. In fact, I could even do This is easier because I put too much flour on my hands. So don't put too much flour on your hands or you won't be able to roll it out properly. So, all I'm doing is I'm rolling and stretching, rolling and stretching, rolling and stretching. Now you will need to have at least an arm's length for your pretzel. That's how I gauge. Okay? So stretch out your pretzel. Now I'm doing it upside down or the right way, so this is where you shape it into U. You big huge smile. Big smile when you're making pretzels. Big smile. So you big smile and then you cross over. And you have pressing down and you have got the distinctive shape of your pretzel. I'm just going to give it a pull out shape like so. I shall do that again. So we have our dough. And stretch, stretch, stretch. The more defined your pretzel will become, the more you stretch your dough. So the longer you make your pretzel, the wider the holes become and the more defined your pretzel. But as I mentioned, do not skimp on the bread soda. So I have a pot and it's bubbling away nice. I'll turn it up just another little bit. And we're nearly there. So again, a U. I need just a U and you cross over. A U and you cross over. If I turn that way and so if we can zoom in. Boink, boink. Stretch it out a bit, stretch it out, and stretch, and two, and stretch. So rolling, rolling, rolling. Now, when you're rolling this dough, the pretzel dough, you've about 20 seconds in your pot. So with your bread soda bubbling away and your water, as I said, it's going to get that lovely brown, chewy crust. The texture is important. You're going to get a shiny appearance with that bread soda. Omit it, and you're not going to have the distinct pretzel shape. And not taste shape too. The pretzel taste. You just love Facebook Live. No. So it's a smile again. And cross over. Oops. Boink, boink. These are so good when they come out. So I'm going to do 4 because at least with the 4, squish again just to get rid of the flour. And roll out on my table. So don't sprinkle with flour or your poor pretzel will not roll out for you. So again, I'm using the tackiness of the table and not any flour. There is no flour. No flour. Ooh, it's going to be an odd shape. And again, we're going to do a smile. Okay, just think of smiling. Smile and cross over. Smile so you go left over right, right over left. And you've got your distinct pretzel baby. Pretzel, pretzel. Give it a bit of there. So, the next thing I'm going to know, this is going to be a challenge, lads. I'm going to ask Sophie, my teenager, to move. This is a challenge in itself. I know. Stay strong, Sophie. I'm going to ask you to move. So follow me over. And what we're going to do next, we've got our water. And in goes our water. In goes our pretzel. And we count a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And in it goes with the scoop and out with the scoop. And I'm getting rid of the excess water. And I'll bring it over to the table. So bang, bang, bang. So we've got our pretzel, like so, onto our tray. I will bring the tray over. Thank you, Sophie. Wow. If there was an opportunity to give a bowl of boss to my teenager who actually moved. Thank you, Sophie. Fabulous. So you can see already that there's a puffed up. So you've got your pretzel is beginning to puff up. And again, make sure I get the shape. So it's in a U. And then you cross over. Give it a pinch. Nobody cares when they come out of this oven because this is just so good. And these are done fast. So again, we'll do in my head 1, 2. Next thing we do is we put a little egg wash on our pretzels. Now the other reason for me counting for the 20 seconds is because if you leave your pretzels in the baking soda for too long, you can get a slight metallic taste. And the other thing as well is when you're doing your pretzels, you will know because as the pretzels are ready, they float to the top. So they sink a little, float to the top. I'm just getting rid of the excess water because I don't need it. So again, I'll get another one. In they go, into the pot. Bloop. We get our egg wash. And be ever so gentle with our egg wash, because what you don't want is to flatten the air that you have in your gorgeous dough. Now these will expand also in the oven. I've got some Maldon sea salt, not your table salt, but the Maldon sea salt, because once you sprinkle it, you've got little nibs of your crystallized salt on top of your pretzels, and they're divine. Now my kids will dunk these into dips, into cream cheese, into absolutely anything. They've even known to slice them and put a ham, sambo and cheese in the pretzel. So it's like a win-win situation, lads. So again, we have our pretzel. In they go. I have preheated my oven, that's another thing. Preheated my oven 220. I want the pretzels to go into the oven and go kaboom! When they go into the oven and kaboom, you need to bake them for about 20 minutes. Now, again, it depends on the size, how big, how large, but keep an eye on them, but they are absolutely scrumdiddlyumptious. So again, we've got a little bit of our Maldon sea salt on top, and our last pretzel. I'm not going to say what it looks like, lads. I'll show you. You can think for yourself, what type of a pretzel is that? Oh, little Johnny comes to mind. Wow, that's a good one, Trish. No, it's pretzel nut. It's a pretzel nut. It does not look like dog poo. Did I say that out loud? Oh my goodness. Okay, sprinkle over. Divine for snacks in the morning, divine for snacks at lunch. Here we go, into a really hot oven. Our pretzels. And kaboom! So the next thing we're going to do, we have got, if you come closer to our yeast in our pot. Okay, our yeast in our pot. Next thing in goes our melted butter. Melted butter, and what I love about this, you don't add this slowly, you just add all the flour. 625 grams of your flour. Make sure we get all the butter out. And upside down, turn it around. And you let your K-Mix blender do the work. Now that'll take about 4 to 5 minutes in a mixer, or if you're going to do it by hand, it will take about 10 minutes. So if you can see the shagginess that's coming together while I clear my decks. Now you can see the dough. It's coming together. You've got the dough hook, which is amazing. You can see because of the brilliant light that is shining through my Kenwood. So you can see it mixing, mixing, mixing. Now I will leave that for 5 minutes at least to mix. And when I do mix, out comes my beautiful dough, like so. Put it in tiny bit of oil on your hands as well. Scoop it up, tiny bit of oil in the bowl. Put it in, let it go for snooze for about 40 to 60 minutes. So literally about an hour. It'll kaboom, as you saw earlier. When you want to take the dough off the hook of your Kenwood, put a tiny bit of oil on your hands, like so. And then you can whip off your dough off the dough hook. Okay, so we've got this lovely soft dough. I am going to make more pretzels while you click on the kettle and start planning what you're going to do for the amazing weekend. Pretzels are fantastic watching the TV. I shall see you tomorrow at 10 for more goodies.